No bye, no aloha.
Cheers, bud.
Cheers.
I'm in the water, unfortunately.
No, that's good. Are you totally dry or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just did New Orleans, and then I went directly to not directly. I think like it was like 3 weeks in between, and then I went to Japan.
Okay.
And in New Orleans and Japan, ate every single thing and drank every single thing I saw. So it's like from the moment I woke up.
So you're kind of like a detox thing, or you plan on coming back to the train? That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah, I have a so I'm very like a challenge based. So I have a buddy who wants to lose weight, so I'm doing a weight loss challenge with him, and then I got a few buddies that want to go dry for a month, so I'm doing the month challenge with them of not drinking for a month.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, what's up with you, Ben? How you been? You just came from band practice. How's that?
Good. I was actually practicing with the urchins.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Are you playing trombone with them?
Yeah.
Sick.
They're recording, or they're about to record.
Okay.
So they asked me to play trombone on a few songs.
Love those guys.
Yeah, because I mean I've been a fan of a lot of those guys. Pat for one, because
for sure.
it takes me back to the Red Session days, and they got that keyboard player, the guy from Greta Shante, Eastside Wrecking Crew,
kind of a newer edition. Well, I've been watching him since day one, so he's sort of a newer edition.
Yeah, and Koimi, he's like amazing too, like sick guitarist. So
he's ridiculous.
I just have, just a big fan of those guys. So it's great to
man,
learn a few songs with them.
Sweet. Is this their first or second album? It's got to be their second, I think.
I think so. Because I know Bubbles was already, or Bubble was already recorded.
They at least
they
have
did
that.
that music video. But yeah, I'm excited. I told them to tell everyone that they're paying me a lot.
Yeah.
So that other people don't ask me.
That's so funny. Well, I had that's what one of my first best friend tattooers would say. I would be like this big tattoo on my leg.
Right.
Like she did the whole thing, and just because she wanted to do it.
Right.
And I was like, whoa, are you sure? Like, I don't have that much money.
Right,
and she's like, I don't worry about it, whatever.
Yeah.
She ended up tattooing the same exact tattoo on her own leg in the same exact spot.
Wow.
Like, she was one of my best friends.
Yeah.
And so I remember I was sitting on the ground one day, and this guy walks up, and I was on the phone with her.
Right.
And then he's like, dude, like, where'd you get that tattoo? Like, how much is that? And I was like, hey, Amy, how much did I say this tattoo is worth? And she's like, tell him like $1,500. And I was like, damn. But legit, I mean, tattoos are expensive. I'm just lucky and spoiled, I guess. You get it. Have you been tattooed recently?
No. Ever since I got the mortgage, that's when the ink stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind doing some stuff, a little bit of cover up action.
Oh, yeah?
Extra stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
Let me ask you this. Do you have, how many band names do you have on you?
I would have to, man. That's not a name, but that was Black Square. That was my first tattoo.
Okay.
Really not that many. This is a Left Alone tattoo, but it doesn't say, everything is actually really washed out on it. That's a Hell Camino tattoo, but it doesn't say it. I have Rats on me twice.
Oh, okay.
Rats might be. I got 86, but again, no words.
Right. That's kind of the smarter way to go. I wish I just went with the
Pimpbot. There you go.
Just that. If I just went with that, I think that'd be cool. Yeah. But now you got this. So what I'm thinking, maybe you can give me some advice. I'm thinking about doing like a mushroom cloud over the tail.
That would,
kind of like Garbage Pail Kids.
Work.
Yeah. Then work this into the cloud.
Stuff. That could be. I mean, if you wanted it to disappear, I feel like just that hard black to something. Now, again, I'm not an artist or anything.
Right.
But I feel like I could see
work that
disappearing.
Yeah.
But you know what I think? Just get new tattoos.
Yeah.
Instead of covering all that's whenever
true
people say they want to get a cover up, I'm like, or you could just get a cool new tattoo.
That's true. Finally get that Golden Girls tattoo. I was wondering.
Dude. Yeah. Dude, the Golden Girls thing is so hot. So my girlfriend's super pumped on it. One of my best friends, Tiff, is super pumped on it. And then we showed up to New Orleans, and the Uber driver was wearing a Golden Girls T-shirt that said "You can't sit with us." And he was just like this really big, thick, bearded guy, and I was like, "What's going on? This is perfect."
Even my daughters love it. They call the show "Old Ladies."
How many kids do you have?
2.
Wow, old ladies.
Yeah, but we watch it, and it's just well written. It's crazy. It's just when something's written that well, it's timeless. Kind of like, when they redid, they just did those live versions of All in the Family and the Jeffersons. Did you watch those?
No, but I heard about it.
Yeah.
Was it cool?
Yeah, it was cool. I mean, of course, there's PC things that make it outdated.
Yeah.
That are like...
Did they make like a hard reference to it? I just got to check it out.
It was word for word.
Whoa.
Yeah. So there's stuff, what they say, and everyone's like, there's that from the crowd. But they keep trucking forward,
It's that's how it is. It's crazy.
But when the writing is that good, I think it stands a test of time. That's the ultimate test.
Golden Girl just didn't really push the envelope too much, did they? I don't know. See, I was never a big fan.
If you watch it now, there's a lot of I think there's homosexual reference, gay bashing, and then slut shaming, of course.
Blanche.
Blanche.
So this cat walking around, that's Slurms, and the other cat, I don't know if you saw the other cat, but that's Blanche Devereaux.
Ah, I had a rat named Blanche.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a popular name for animals.
Yeah.
It's funny. So wait, what are you doing with your own music though?
With my own music, No Villains Left.
Mm-hmm.
We're done recording our first album, but it's in the process of mixing, which has been like a whole crazy thing. Actually, the whole thing with No Villains Left, it's a learning process.
Yeah.
Just because
new guys or
with the guys and the way you do, every band is like a business, right? The way you move forward. And with Pimpot, I was a driver for a lot of it. And just. I think maybe with age now, I'm just like I'm way more laid back.
Nice.
I mean, sometimes I feel bad for my old bandmates because I'm just like, man, I was so militant.
Pimpot was going hard.
Yeah.
Like what? How much would you guys play? Like 4 or 5 times a week or something? Or like it felt like it for a minute.
It did though. Yeah, we would have times where we'd be playing a lot, practicing a lot, and then performing even more. I think for sure.
Yeah.
Towards the end, we lightened up, I think, but still, I mean, when we made plans to do something, we would do it. If not, I'd be calling out people who are like, why is this not happening?
Yeah, that's how it was back with, I think Black Square took a lot from you guys because you guys would have us open for you guys on like, like the Wave or I think, did we get in the
pub in the very beginning?
Yeah, I was going to say, I think we got into North Shore because of you guys.
Because back then, a lot of North Shore people were still coming to Kimoa Pub.
Yeah,
that was before it got all weird. I think it was first off, it was 9/11. That's when a lot of military just dropped off in general, and then there was that whole thing at Kimoa Pub where that guy got raped or something on St. Patrick's Day.
A guy got raped?
Yeah, like a military guy got raped in the parking lot.
Oh, God.
And after that, then Kimoa Pub became like a blacklisted thing, for military. You can't go to this base. When you leave the base, you can't go to this bar.
Gnarly.
So after that, it became a ghost town. Then it got really hard to drive people out there.
Because I'm trying to think. Once they were you still playing there once they busted the door down or busted the wall down?
Yeah, and they made that new stage.
Yeah, that was kind of cool, but it was
kind of cool, but that was already too late, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was too late.
Yeah.
Because it just the vibe itself. It wasn't already because I didn't even hear about that thing.
Yeah.
But I had stopped playing there like right shortly after they built that stage, and I missed it. I didn't understand what was happening.
Right.
The bar staff though, I think everybody was friends with all that North Shore crowd.
Yeah.
And they would kind of pull them in.
Right. Well, it was 2 different crowds there. So the top level, which is the street level, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's where you had that extra stage and all of that. And that was kind of like that's where the military would go. Now it's the bikers, but
yeah.
But now it's like, back then it was the military. And then the North Shore people would go to that lakeside lanai or whatever they called it.
See, I didn't even know about that spot.
Because that's where Go Jimmy Go would play. We'd play on that bottom floor. So we would do shows there, and then that's where they had like the foam parties and shit like that.
Shoot.
Yeah.
I missed out on all of that. I went down there like once or twice, but I didn't know what was happening.
Oh, okay.
I was pretty young still. I think when Black Square started playing there, I think I was like 19, 20.
Yeah, you guys were super young.
And it was, oh my God. It's so funny because we got into that, and I think because we looked at you guys and we're like, well, this is what we have to do. Right. You progress from, you play punk shows and then you do this.
Or you'd kind of straddle, right? You do the bar gigs for money.
Yeah.
And then you do the punk shows for cred, right?
Yeah.
To get your real fan base.
Yeah. And you have, I remember always saying, I was like, either play for fun or for money. It's one or the other.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
But now, do you do like money gigs still?
No.
Yeah.
Not really, man. You know, when, as far as money gigs, talking like maybe you and an opener and that's about it. Or, you know, you're doing like the 3 set kind of.
Yeah.
No.
It just crushes you, right?
Yeah. Because now the only money that you're getting is just the punk rock shows. So there's no paying each other out. That's not even an issue.
Would you save it for practice?
Save, like, yeah, that's $70. Or what we do is we finance our own practices. Everyone's okay, take a pool, guys. Everyone, $5 from everybody. And whatever money comes from the gigs, that's what goes into it, like a band fund type of thing, right? And then, I mean, once you get depressed and think about it, it's like, why don't we just not practice and just keep every week everyone just donates money into a pool, you know?
Yeah. It's rough. I mean, I don't know what's going on with the scene in Hawaii. I was just hanging out with my buddy, who I used to be in a band with in LA, and he was like, so how's the punk scene in Hawaii? And I was like, it's getting old.
Yeah.
There's no young blood really coming in. I don't know what the youngsters are doing. I think all the younger crowd is doing like a 70s throwback kind of vibe.
Yeah.
That's just what I'm seeing. I don't know.
Yeah. A lot of the times, to be honest, I mean, I'm not even out and about, you know, like the only times I'm out is just when I'm playing. So I really like it when I have openers that I haven't heard of before, you know, because like half of the guys in my band are like in their 20s. So they're the ones that are out.
Oh, really? Are they?
The feelers. Yeah.
Shoot.
Like Chris and Tyler, they're in their 20s.
Nice.
Ryan Dance Machine, he's in his 30s, but everybody
Looks
thinks
like
he's in his 20s. Yeah. And he's probably more hip to the scene than all of us, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
when it comes to openers, when it finally comes to my turn, I'm like, I don't know, you know, all the guys are like my age, like the 3 bands that are left, you know what I mean?
Yeah. What was I gonna say? But you guys have a really good draw of, you just like, I feel like every time you play, like all your homies kind of show up.
That's what I like about this band is, because compared to like Pimpot, you know, where we just run the well dry, you know, just playing so much. With this band, whenever we play, like, oh my God, we're gonna play a show. Like, it's an event, you better come out. You know?
I love it.
That's what I
love
really
that
enjoy
stuff
about it. Yeah.
That was the vibe at that reunion the memorial show for Les.
Yeah.
It was just, Mike was telling me, you know, he's like, just only wanted to book bands that had played at Fast Zone or had something to do with there, or like at least members.
Right.
But the vibe was just so cool because I was like, these bands don't typically all come out, although some of them kind of are a bit more.
Right.
I think there's like this wave of like bands just coming back and be like, fuck it.
Yeah, like Grapefruit. Isn't it awesome that they're playing all the time now?
They're kind of playing. Yeah, it seems like you could just hit them up whenever and they'd probably just say yes to a show.
It's crazy. And even the Numbskulls, they're playing.
Another one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's it seems like people are just saying yes now to stuff.
Yeah.
Where it's like even Mike, my bass player in Hell Caminos, he was just like, let's just play some more shows, like whatever. Like we would kind of like be like, we're just gonna play 4 times a year, or we're just gonna play twice a year,
right?
Whatever,
right.
Just try and make it a thing. And he's like, let's just play.
Yeah,
who cares? Like, let's just have some fun, you know? Whatever. Like, it doesn't. Trying to pack like Anna's or Downbeat's smaller, so it's a little bit easier. But like the idea of trying to pack Anna's anymore, it's just like,
man, it's all about especially the great thing about Downbeat is you got that walk by stuff, right? People want like, what's going on in here, and they'll check it out. But Anna's, it's like, people come to see you and that's it. You know what I mean? If they decide to ditch on that, that's half of their night gone. So it's a commitment to come out. Like, if they're coming out, they like you.
Yeah.
You know?
And hopefully they'll, show up for the band before you and stay for the one after you too.
That's always a big thing too. Yeah, because I mean, certain bands, right, have that reputation where like, oh, you book that band, their crowd is gonna leave right after.
Totally.
Yeah.
And nobody wants to play last anymore. It's funny because like we were just in Japan and we went to this show and my girlfriend said something about, I don't know, like pre-gaming or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, the show starts at, doors are at 6, show starts at 6:30, and she's like, 6:30? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, that's how it just, Hawaii is so skewed. Like, that's how it is. I don't know if it's still like that across the rest of America.
Right.
but that's just how it used to be. Like
Right.
Pink Cadillac, like show up at 6, you're kicked out by like, I don't know, 9, 10.
Right.
I kind of miss it.
Yeah. Especially for those all ages show, right? It's
Yeah.
really-
Like you can't even get a band to start until 9:30 now.
yeah. Yeah.
Nobody's even, nobody will be there either.
Yeah, 'cause
they'll
even
show
if-
up halfway through their set.
Even if the band is there, yeah, but because Anna's used to be super strict. They used to be like, if you're gonna throw a show by 9 o'clock, or if you're starting your show, it has to. They needed music at 9, not DJ music, live music had
Dang.
to start at 9. That was through one of the incarnations of their owners. There's
I was gonna say.
tumultuous times where they had like a different owner every
Had to
year.
be previous to this owner.
Yeah, because now they're totally cool, and I wasn't aware of it either. Because when my guys, when we're throwing shows there now, I'm like, oh wow, the band's gonna start at 9:30. No one's gonna yell at us. Oh,
That's
wow.
funny.
That's cool.
Because even when I started playing at Anna's for the first time, I think I was just under 21. And I think Josh was like, oh yeah, we got booked at Anna's. It had to be probably Go Jimmy Go. I don't know who else would have booked us, because like you guys were the only people the only ones that would pull us into stuff. Or Rick would be like, oh, I got you guys this. It could have been Pimpot too, honestly.
True.
Because he was managing you guys too. But I just remember being like, Anna Bananas? We're gonna play there? Like, isn't that where all like people fight all the time? Isn't it crazy? I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Like, that's just a bar though.
Yeah.
Like at Pink Cadillac is, I don't know. It didn't feel like just a bar.
Right.
But you walk into Anna's, you're like, this is a bar.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Do you remember playing at Tropics Bar in
Upstairs.
Kailua?
Oh, the one in the corner.
The one in the strip mall, yeah.
Yeah.
So I remember you guys were opening up for Pimpot. I was just watching you set up for some reason, and you set up your bass and everything, and then you brought like a carton of milk.
What?
And then you're just chugging this milk, like emptying the damn thing. Like
Me?
Yeah, just watching you chug milk. I'm like, damn. Because you already look young, and then just watching you chug milk made you look 5 years younger.
That's hilarious. The things that stick out, right?
Yeah.
Like, shoot, man. That's super funny. But so with No Villains, you guys are just taking it easy. Like, not plans to tour, just nothing too crazy.
We would like to tour.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we would. We have a few options. We made friends. We're buddies with the Big Scandal. They're in.
I haven't heard of them.
They're out of Florida, and they want to do a whole thing where we go up there. And they help us out like with a bunch of shows. Maybe do like a Southeast circuit type of thing, and then they want to come here. Then we help them out do a whole thing.
That's a bargain.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it's hard. It's hard to get out. It's just expensive to get out here. But it's expensive to take a band from here out.
Yeah.
But nobody cares about that. They're just like, yeah, whatever. We don't care about you over there. Like, if you want us to come, it's gonna be money. And you're like, dude, come on, you get to come to Hawaii.
Yeah. But when I tell bands about coming here, I'm like, you gotta look at it as a vacation.
Yeah. That's always the pitch.
If by some way of magic you break even, then props to you. But you got to look at it as a loss. But you're gonna come out and
How many pieces in the band?
How many what?
How many pieces in the band?
In the Big Scandal?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a big band though.
Oh shoot. Yeah, that's when it gets nuts.
Yeah. Well, yeah. When you go 6 deep. Yeah. I mean, that's why. I mean, even if it's hard for bands at that level, like a middle level, imagine that's why we never had like Mustard Plug out here, or
Yeah.
or even. Although I'm happy to see Buckle 9 is touring again.
That's who I just saw in Japan.
Yeah. Oh, you did. Okay.
Mhm. The trumpet player bashed his teeth out. Like, do you know any of them?
Yeah.
Dude. Ooh. If you know the trumpet player, hit him up. He came up. This is ACB club in Japan.
Okay.
Are you familiar with? I know you guys played there.
It's been a long time though.
You had to have played there. It's in Shinjuku. And if you remember, you have to walk down like 3 flights of stairs down into the earth.
Okay.
And then you can't hear the music outside. It's so deep and just but once you get in there, it's just pumping. It's not super huge. It's about
what Japanese club is though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, everything is like, it's super cool and compact. It's the size of this room and everyone's going off.
Yeah, they're going off. And but yeah, they were definitely going off because he came up the stairs after and he just smiled and he's like, good thing I'm pretty drunk. And it was just like
blood.
Not blood, but it was not half of his front teeth, but
Yeah.
like maybe like a quarter of his front teeth.
Yeah.
but it clearly wasn't the first time. I mean, with that trumpet, have you ever been bashed?
Yeah. Yeah.
You got nice teeth.
I've bled at Tsunamis, Waikiki.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, like
because there's
once a month punk kind of stuff.
Yeah, it was once a month punk. We're on the same level, right, as everyone else. So whenever you play those, right, you angle the mic so when it comes in, it goes that way. But
hits you in the cheek.
But I didn't think of it because I was being sexist because the girls were moshing, and I was like,
I'll be fine.
Yeah, I was like, whatever. Then this girl. But then so my mouthpiece just starts filling up with blood as I'm playing.
Oh, so it was with the trombone.
Yeah.
I was gonna say singing or with the I don't know which one do you think would be worse.
Well, I think it was with the mic, but once the mic breaks it open,
I see.
Then I switched to the trombone, and it's just helping the blood out.
Gross.
All that buzzing. Here you go. Here you go, mouthpiece. Yeah,
makes me so mad. It hasn't happened in a long time.
Yeah.
Oof. I don't know, but also, I only play guitar, really with El Caminos anymore. I mean, maybe I will eventually, but I'd just been singing with Rats, so it was like I had full control. Like you can't bash my hand into my mouth. Like if it hits, I could just.
Do you miss
react.
playing bass?
No,
really,
not at all.
Wow.
I have one under my bed. I would play bass, but I played bass in Black Square just because the bass player left.
Oh, okay.
So I basically learned to play bass.
Got it. Okay.
In that band, and then the bass lines were not terribly difficult, but not simple.
Sure.
So it was cool.
But for that style, and it locked in perfectly with Brian because we spent one summer playing together. I was playing with Black Square for like 1 summer,
like all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember just watching you and Brian lock in, and it's not something that I see a lot of. Like there would be punches where I would see your cues with him. We're like, we're gonna punch in on this one part. You got it?
Yeah.
Like, I think maybe it was effortless for you and Brian, but I would say it's difficult to get bass players and drummers sometimes to lock in that way.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah. I think it's definitely super important. Like I'm playing drums in this hardcore band right now, Oceans Deep, and I was I was telling the bass player, I'm like, because I know he likes hip hop, and I was like, that song, like it's bigger than hip hop. Yeah, I feel it's a pretty popular song, but if you listen to the way that the bass goes, I was like, yo, let's like on the next couple songs, like try and think of like that kind of bass line, and let's just like sync it up if we can, behind some hardcore, because you wouldn't notice that it was overly hip hoppy, right? But just that lock. Yeah, I think the reason why it worked with Brian and me is because Brian's an amazing drummer, but he's got his own style. Yeah, and I didn't really play in any other bands before that, so I was just kind of. Josh would be like, okay, link up. He'd kind of like teach me like. You want to link like your hits with his bass drum or vice versa. Yeah. So Josh definitely had it in his mind. But since it was basically my first band, right, I had other bands off on the side, and then they would either end or whatever. Sure. But that's the only one I really ever played bass with. So yeah, that was super fun. I don't know. I played bass in this punk band in LA for a little bit. Playing bass is fun. It just that
was crazy with your whole when you left Black Square. Yeah, you guys just swapped. It
was weird how it happened. It was just perfect. But
he was looking to come here. You were looking to make your way up there.
I just wanted to get on the road because I mean, like again, I'd watch Go Jimmy Go. Right. Pinbot. How much did you guys tour?
We did like once or twice a year.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing too
kind
crazy.
Of a lot from Hawaii.
Yeah, it was a lot for me because there were times where I would do Pimpot tours in between Go Jimmy Go tours. And Go Jimmy Go, there's a point where we're like away half of the year. So
damn, because you do like full Warp tours.
Yeah.
That's nuts, man. It must have been so fun back then.
Oh man, 2002, because we did 2002 and 2003. 2003 we did like a shorter leg of the tour, but 2002 we did a good chunk of it, like a good chunk. And dude, it was so much work. I mean, but man, that summer we had Mighty Mighty Bosstones, Flogging Molly, Bad Religion, No Effects, seeing that every day, Kwarashi.
And at that time, I don't know that one.
You know? Oh, there's just like, that was still back when rap rock was kind of cool.
Okay,
On the last throes of it, you know?
Yeah.
And they were banned from Iceland.
Nice.
Yeah.
Like new medley?
No, not too much.
Okay.
All
right.
I would say like,
Just straight up, just.
I'd say a little bit more poppy than Limp Bizkit.
Oh, wow.
That whole cheesy like rap rock vibe.
I loved Limp Bizkit so much when they're in their heyday.
Frick yeah.
But I would like
Me too.
once I got into punk rock, I like hid the CDs and then later on just threw them away. I was like,
Oh, I was doing both at the same time. I was double teaming. I was like, punk rock, yeah.
they were so
I
fun.
did it off with a nookie.
It's so ridiculous. Like you can't take it too seriously.
You can't, you know, and there's nothing wrong with liking cheesy shit.
ridiculous
ridiculous
stuff.
Yeah.
Me and my buddy would, you know, Lundy from Big Island.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Love Lundy. Yeah.
So he was working with me in Downbeat for a while in the kitchen, and it started as a joke because everybody get pissed at us. We put on Limp Bizkit and just blast it, and we both knew all the words.
Yeah.
And like all the waitresses would be like, "Are you guys fucking serious? Like you're driving us crazy." And then one day, I think it was him, could have been me, I don't know.
Yeah.
But somebody came in and was like, "Yo, Limp Bizkit has a new album out," and we like fully got into it. It's called Golden Cobra.
Okay.
And the lyrics were just as horrible as they'd ever been, if not worse. Because you know, like that, like whenever a band's like, we're gonna write another one like our early
Right,
stuff, and you're
right.
like, okay, and it never is. It just never has the same feel. And so when you're aiming for cheesy,
Yeah.
like already,
Yeah.
like, oh man,
You know, I'm listening to that on the way home.
dude, Wes Borland comes back for that album.
What?
Exactly.
Oh.
So, I mean, I was kind of like when you listen to the very first riff on it.
Yeah.
Womp, 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 womp. Like I was like, oh yeah, and then the beat comes in, it's like, okay, and then the lyrics come, and you're like, oh man, but it's so great and bad at the same time. I loved it.
I tried getting into some of the newest Cypress Hill stuff.
Oh yeah, how's that?
It's a little trippy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But sometimes you just want some of their catchier stuff. Or
I'm trying to think like who's put something out recently that's been like from a long time ago that was new. Like who like Aerosmith is the only band I can think of.
Oh man.
That was able to just like, and I know I have a couple buddies out there that trash me for liking Aerosmith. I'm like, listen, any band that can go from generation to generation and keep people interested
Exactly.
and change their style but not change their style.
Because I have uncles that were into Aerosmith, like 70s and 80s. Like, I grew up in Waianae, and we used to have this.
Really?
We used to have this chicken coop. And the only thing I remember back then, like the side of our chicken coop, my uncle like painted a huge ass Aerosmith logo on it, and I never knew what the hell it was until like later on. I was like, oh yeah. So, and then I started listening to him in the 90s, the whole Get a Grip phase.
That was my stuff right there.
Yeah, so I'm like, so you know, he's in that era of Aerosmith fandom, and I'm the 90s Aerosmith fandom.
It's the best.
Yeah.
And then they even afterwards, the
Yeah.
Armageddon soundtrack
Exactly.
just kept on banging.
Yeah.
Steven Tyler's probably like, writing something right now that's going to
Yeah.
blow our minds in a couple months.
I really like that Saturday Night Live skit. I remember I forget who did it, but they could blend in all three of their songs at the time in the 90s. That crazy, amazing.
Yeah. For sure. I don't even have to see the skit, but I know
You
exactly
could layer
where that's
all
going.
on top. It's crazy. It's amazing. It's crazy and amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. But all those hits,
Yeah.
it's almost like they just had like a hit machine. They're like, all right, let's just.
Yeah. Okay, it's come out. Okay, everybody play it. Yeah.
They were awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, their songs they would definitely hit me like, oh yeah, like I'm feeling this song,
Exactly.
like that just dirty harmonica and the groovy beats, and then it like kicks up.
Especially for me, because I kind of hate the harmonica.
Oh really?
So when I hear like Aerosmith is one of those bands that are like, okay, it's all right, I'll let it go.
Let me think. Like Blues Traveler, you hate that?
Yeah. Okay, so here's my thing with the harmonica, and I'm sure a lot of people can correct me on whatever, and that's fine. But okay, so take the guy from Blues Traveler, right?
Yeah.
He has a vest,
Yeah,
right, of
yep,
all his
yep.
harmonicas. They're all in like different keys or
Harps.
whatever. Yeah. So it's like, there's musicians that take the time to learn your scales and all of that. But then there's guys that come and like, oh, what key are we in? All right, let me just bust it onto my vest here.
Yeah.
So I think there's a little bit of that shortcut. It's the same thing like when the guy just rolls up to your thing and just wants to play congas and all your stuff. You know, there's wanting to be a musician without taking the time, putting that time, but want all of the glory at the same time. I totally
feel what you're saying.
Yeah.
But I've tried that with our harmonica. I thought I could do this.
Right, but it
was harder than I thought. It was much harder than I thought.
I can imagine that.
It's
Plus, there's a chromatic harmonica too, right?
Yeah, I've heard of that one.
Yeah.
That's got to be crazy difficult.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
I mean, okay, so I play in a band with this guy Stephen Howells. I don't know. He used to play with like Doolin Rakes, or he still does actually. Okay. I've heard him play because I was like right along that same path that you're going, like a tambourine, for instance, right?
Sure.
I've seen people just suck at the tambourine, right. And then I've seen people. Steve Howells, who he could play the tambourine and a kick drum, and you're like, ooh,
just fills that shit up.
Yeah. So I think there's certain people that can. I do think you can kind of cheat on certain instruments,
right?
Tambourine, harmonica, triangle,
right?
You know, keyboard and C, just white keys all day.
Right.
I could,
right.
You know, I could do this. Oh, they're all right notes.
Yeah.
But I had this buddy who. He looked like Willie Nelson, and he just showed up into my life and just disappeared just as quickly. But he showed up to work at Downbeat in the kitchen, and he was this crazy hippie named Murph. Not crazy, but just like this wild hippie.
Yeah,
super cool, super mellow. And we got to talking. We liked a bunch of the same stuff. I was like, "Yo, I got this country band.
Yeah,
come jam with us." And he's like. And I heard he played harmonica, and I was just pumped, and I just liked his vibe so much. I was like, I just want you to be around me all the time.
Yeah.
So he comes up, and he did that thing, right? He had like this little like military sack, and he rolled it out on the stage, and he like, you know, he like let his two long Willie Nelson braids down. Yeah. He kind of got ready, took his shoes and socks off. He got ready. And my bandmates are looking at me like, what the fuck is going on? And I was like, I brought this guy up. He swears he can play harmonica. I asked him, I was like, are you're going to be able to play with us? Just like for, you know, and he's like, yeah, no problem. And, which isn't that crazy. I feel like I could be like, you got your trombone, jump up here and play with us. And you'd probably be like, I can do it.
Right. To an extent. Yeah.
So he gets up there with his harmonicas and he starts playing like rhythms. Just tastefully behind the guitar, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, he knows the changes I'm playing. And when it came time, I looked at him and I went, all right, rip it.
Right.
Just the tastiest harmonica playing I've ever heard.
Okay.
So
respect that.
I kind of feel like, but then there's the guys who ruin it for everybody. They just play all over everybody.
Yeah.
And I feel like those are the ones.
There's a guy that was at Rock Bottom. This guy tried to jump onto a Pimpot set.
That the one that's behind
Burger King and Puck's.
Okay, exactly.
Yeah, across from Puck's Alley. Yeah, this guy just showed up and like tried to just do his weasel in on his harmonica, and it sounded like a shitty train just coming into our song. Like all of a sudden we're at a train station. Like, what the fuck is this?
Did you know he was coming up?
No, he was a guy, just one of those guys where I can just bullshit and just come up to a band and just start.
God.
I remember my bass player just shoving the guy off. He was like, fuck that.
Like Ryland?
Yeah.
Oh my God. It's the worst.
Oh man.
I always have because I'm not like sometimes I can be a fucker. Like if people jump up on stage.
Sure.
Depends what kind of, like in Rats, when I would play, I would just be like going crazy all the time, and I would usually get pretty tipsy and just not care what I was doing.
Yeah.
And I remember like one of the last two shows, this guy jumps up on stage and I said something to him and he said something in the mic, and then he just took the mic and started talking. And I was like, no. And I just like pushed him off the stage. But then like in any other band, if somebody was kind of like doing that kind of stuff, I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah. Like, I don't know. It just depends on
on the vibe.
Yeah.
And what people expect. You know, from that show, you know that.
Yeah, that's funny because I could never see like, as playing bass in Black Square when I did.
Right.
Like I would never. I was just like, oh, some weirdos like dancing on stage right now. I guess that's happening, or like,
or because you guys dip into the reggae stuff. You know, I'm sure there was a guy. They're like, oh, let me spit some rhymes and shit.
People like so many weirdos love reggae. or they think they do anyways.
Yeah.
They just like that dancing rhythm.
Yeah, it's whatever they can dance to.
Do you guys get much, or you guys probably just get like people who are specifically coming to see you at this point?
At this point, yeah, it's that, and just some kids that are like, oh wow, this is a ska punk revival type of band bringing back this old stuff.
That's what I was gonna ask you too. Is do you like 9 times out of 10 when you're throwing music on, are you still listening to like that type of ska?
Man, to be honest with you, when it comes to like ska punk kind of stuff, I get really picky.
Me too.
Like even with some of my favorite bands,
Yeah.
like the Planet Smashers,
Yep.
right? It's one of my
Love
favorite
them.
bands, and I love like a bunch of their albums where I can just play the whole thing. But their latest album, there's certain only like maybe less than a handful that I can really listen to.
Yeah.
Once like something gets a little too, it's this term that when I was touring with the Toasters, we would always say Jimmy Ska and the Ska Skas, and you just know what that means.
Yeah.
When you hear that, we've seen like so many, as you go through all these cities, there's that one like local band or several of these local bands where it's just like ton of horns, but it's like the same horn line for and everyone's just cheesy, right? You're in a I'm in a ska band, I better wear a big ugly tie and a cat in the hat and just
Yeah. We already have one Real Big Fish.
yeah. You know who does Real Big Fish really well? Real Big Fish.
Exactly.
That's where we need to end
Just
it.
let them have it.
Yeah.
They made a thing. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
Did you listen to the newest Slackers? Or excuse me, not Slackers. The newest specials.
I have.
Yeah, I'm scared to. I still haven't listened to it yet.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I felt the same way. So that one, I just kind of keep, like while I'm gardening or something. I just kind of keep that. I don't want to dig too deep in.
I'm scared to listen to anything like that. Like I have like again like the pickiness.
Yeah.
Like I have certain bands that I've just always been down with. I don't know why.
Right.
But Less Than Jake is that one for me.
Oh,
I've just
yeah.
always just loved Less Than Jake. I
Yeah.
don't know, something about I don't know. Their choruses or whatever it is. Like
Yeah.
I just love them all the way every time.
I think the way that they approach songwriting, it's not like, okay, well, we're a ska band, so gotta kick in with a horn line for 2 bars, and then
Yeah.
we're gonna do this. It's kind of like I have the song, we're gonna bring it to the table. If there's horns, if there's a horn part, we'll fit it in. Otherwise, it's a song. It's a song first, a ska or a ska punk song second. You know? So
that's cool. And I heard that their drummer writes like all their songs.
yeah, I didn't hear much from him until I started like researching interviews and stuff, and I watch him do a bunch of interviews, and yeah, he's very well spoken, and
Yeah, you're like, why are they interviewing the drummer?
yeah. But once you hear him, I'm like, oh yeah, you can tell like he's one of the drivers in the band for sure.
Yeah. Like Bill Stevenson, did you see that Descendants documentary?
I did.
Dude.
Yeah, I like that one.
Oh man, you didn't go to that show, did you?
I didn't.
Yeah, I didn't see you there.
No.
Dude, I'm watching him the whole time.
I can imagine.
Have you seen them play at all, or have you ever seen him play?
No.
Oh man.
But I felt, hearing his story, I'm like, oh my god.
I didn't know any of that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. But,
wild, man. That guy's not crazy, but he's just, that's an intense dude. Like, just to go through all of that. And then,
Yes.
to just still be like, yeah, let's just keep doing it.
Yeah. I love what he says is we do tours because that's our own time to hang out. It's the only time we get to hang out and see each other, which, I can identify with because, again, the only time I leave the house now is unless I'm performing. I don't have the luxury of going out and just to check out a band just because I want to see them.
Yeah. Well, with kids.
Kids, man.
Yeah, that's what Dave said. He didn't. He basically was just like, well, I can keep doing this and kind of like neglect the family life, or just at least you can find a way to do both, And Josh too. Josh, like, he's got the kids, but
of course
he'll like find a way.
Yeah.
I don't think it's good or wrong, right? One
Right.
way or the other.
Yeah.
But it's cool to be able to still have something.
I think it's important for my girls to whenever I'm leaving, I'm letting them know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And so whenever I'm gonna go with a band, I let them know like, oh, I'm gonna go play with my band, or if they want to watch me figure out a song, I'll let them do that. And I think it's important for them to see parents still having passion.
Yeah.
so that when they're adults, they know that they can still like balance things that they're into and not, because man, it is so easy to just become a zombie.
For sure.
Believe me. I mean, I fight that battle every day. You know what I mean? Like today, like, of course I would have want to just put my time in at the office and just come home, you know, but I'm like, okay, I'm going to go to the office, going to rehearse with the band, learn some tunes, then I'm going to come and record a podcast, you know. So I'm telling my girls, I'm like, you know, there's certain days that I want to do a bunch of stuff. You know, I'm going to take care of a bunch of daddy stuff, and then on other days we're going to have a bunch of time together.
Yeah.
You know,
I want to do, and I feel like I have friends that be like, man, it looks like you're always doing stuff. And I'm like, I'm really not. I promise. I'm really not. Like, I try to do stuff. And it's not even to look like I'm doing stuff. I'm just actually just trying to do something.
Right.
But man, I walk in the door and I just sit down on the couch. Like right now I'm watching the Wonder Years.
Oh,
and I'm
nice.
like, season 2, episode 5, here we go.
Nice,
like, you know,
nice.
or like whatever.
Yeah.
Like, and then if I do that for too long, I get crazy and I'm like,
Sure.
I got to do something else.
Yeah.
Especially right now being, what is it? Like 3 days sober.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it's nuts too. I can't sleep. Oh my God.
Yeah. This is my sleep meds
Helps
right here. Yeah,
so
it
much.
does.
Also though, I felt like, you know, just with all the drinking, for me, I have friends that'll drink a lot, but they stay really skinny. But I get a couple drinks in me and I'm like, where's the food at?
See, that's what it is. Like, I was a big defender of alcohol. You know, like, don't blame the booze because you're getting fat. You're getting fat because you're eating when you're tipsy or drunk. You know?
Totally.
So,
are you an eater or not?
I can be, because I was a real fat kid for sure. And you know, people that look back and would go
when I met you, you're a little bit more chubby.
Yeah, you know, I've gone through waves. You know?
But you knocked it off, and then it just kept it all off.
I've tried, you know, but
was that difficult?
Yeah, it's always a
what
struggle.
was the initial? Because I mean, I specifically remember going to one of my first handful of shows, and it was I'm gonna guess Pimpbot started in like 2001.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I think I remember seeing Alex was in the band.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God.
That's what's trippy is that Shannon, my bass player, No Villains Left, he helped me start Pimpbot. It was Shannon, Alex, and Joel from Hellbound Hounds.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
that was the original lineup.
right.
And then Rylan joined like a week or two later.
So you were a little bit bigger back then.
Yeah.
And then because I didn't know anybody, just kind of going to shows a little bit, you know. And then at whatever point, like seeing you just like boom, slim down, and I was like, whoa, that's
2004
amazing.
was my big weight loss. I went through I think it was 70-pound weight loss. Yeah, it was crazy because I was touring a lot.
What'd you do?
Well, a lot of it was just cutting back on eating, I think, and well, it was coupled with that, and then I was still touring a lot with Go Jimmy Go back then.
Helps.
That was back when we were like touring, I think, at our most, and there's certain days where our per diem was just $5 a day. So my $5 was like a 40 at a gas station and a microwave burrito. So that'd be my meal, and then that whatever gig we'd play that night, I would just have people buy me drinks. So I would just keep drinking and then just pass out somewhere in a corner, just curl up into a ball, and then wake up in the morning and do it all over again.
That's fucking
do
brutal.
that month on month, like month to month, you know. And then because I'm 5'11", and so my lightest I got down to like 165, and my cheeks were sunken in. I was gray.
Yeah.
Then when I come back home, I do show with Pimpbot. The Wave Waikiki was still open back then, and there was all these rumors that started. People were saying like I had AIDS, or
Oh my God.
I'm on a crazy diet pill from Japan. It was crazy, like all these rumors. Like at the end of the night, I would talk to the bartenders and stuff. Like, what are people saying? So funny.
That's wild, man.
Yeah.
So it all happened over a summer, kind of?
Pretty much, you know. And then, but even from then, I've gained the weight back, you know. And I think
Not much of it, though.
At my heaviest, like in those early Pimpbot days, I got up to 250 pounds, and that's where just my knees were just really sore. And there was this one move. I remember I jumped up on stage at the Wave. I did one of those jumps and I landed. And I just remember when I landed, I just felt all these pops in my ankles and my knees. Just like the weight was just too much.
Whoa. See, I better not gain any weight. I think Wait, no. Now I'm not gonna do it. My knees crack like almost every time I bend them.
Oh, really?
I've had it bent for too long, so it's not gonna crack right now. But yeah, that's wild, man.
Yeah.
That's wild.
So nowadays, like if I get up to 220, that's when like I'll start to feel some warning signs, you know.
Yeah, so you got you got a few inches on me. I'm like once I push 190, which is what when I came back from Japan last year.
Yeah.
Again, one of those just like every single thing I saw, like I was like force feeding myself.
Oh, okay.
Because everything you've been there. So like you just go to the 7-Eleven or the Lawson's or the Family Mart, and it's like, oh man, every single thing I see, I just want to eat.
Yeah.
And I did.
Yeah.
And like
sometimes it's out of comfort, sometimes out of boredom.
Or I'm like, I'm full, but that just looks so good. So I'm not going to be in Japan in 4 days, so I better cram it in.
When you're drinking in Japan, you can't just go to a bar and just drink.
Yeah,
that's what I realized. It's like you go from restaurant to restaurant.
Yeah. Or if you do go to a bar, they put a big old cup of whatever, like kakimochi in front of you with every drink.
Yeah.
My girlfriend was explaining that because she worked at this place called Bar Leather Apron, and the owner kind of made the place seem like it was a bar from Japan, basically.
Got it. Okay.
So even the reason why it's called Bar Leather Apron is because all the bars over there are called like bar this, bar that, bar
okay.
this.
Got it.
And I was like, that's a kind of a weird name, right?
Yeah.
And she explained that to me. And then we went over there, and she was like, yeah, see, this is why every time you go to Bar Leather Apron, every drink, you get a new snack.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, whoa, I never even thought of that before.
Yeah.
But in Japan, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I would say like, what a good 80 to 90% of the people there are pretty trim.
Exactly, right? So what the hell?
Wow.
Although when you look at like what they're eating, right? Like I'd be going from bar to bar, but when I go to this bar, like I just want a beer. But then it'd be like they'd start steaming some water and be a heap of lettuce, you know, and be like a lot of vegetables and shit and sprouts that they're throwing in there. So it is healthy.
My favorite thing I had there was just this huge pile of shredded cabbage. And then like some Wagyu beef. There was like a yakiniku kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
Nice. Oh man, that shredded cabbage though was crazy.
Yeah.
I was filling up on it. I tried to not eat rice too much when I was there because I just, not because I didn't want to eat rice, but just because I was like, I'm saving room for all the good stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Same reason like when you go to a buffet, right? You don't do the carbs.
Yeah, forget about that.
Yeah.
Fool's move.
Yeah.
What was the last time you went to Japan? On tour?
Yeah, on tour. Yeah. I mean, I'm still getting used to the idea of just traveling for vacation. That's still weird to me.
Do you do it often?
No. The last one was it 2017 in December. I finally took my family for a Disney vacation.
Yeah, which one? LA?
Disneyland, yeah.
No.
LA, yeah.
So I grew up going. We're not, well, actually, no. I'd go to like Great America. We wouldn't make it all the way down to Disneyland that often, but once or twice.
But yeah, so I mean, but even that, yeah, it's weird. Like, just okay, I'm going, but I'm not gonna perform or anything. It's like, man, I'm here. I might as well do something, you know? Like,
it's the best.
Yeah,
that's what I'm on.
Yeah,
like, I kind of made myself this deal once I came back. I'd sold all my guitars, and I'd sold all my amps, but I had traveled the most places in the world. Like, it within like a year and a half. I'd gone more places than I had dreamed of going.
Nice.
But you know how tour is.
Yeah.
You know, you show up, you go to a venue, I wasn't drinking, but you know, you get drunk, whatever, hop in the van, go to sleep, do that again.
Yeah.
And so you're lucky if you even get to see a thing. You know, it's like, oh man, I'm in I don't know, where am I? I'm in the Bay Area. Like, did I see the Golden Gate Bridge? No, I didn't see it. Like, I don't know, what did I see? You know,
I get that same shit, dude. I played in Paris, and people were like, "Man, what did you see?" Like,
nothing.
Fucking, I don't know, man. Like,
turned to Paris.
Yeah,
I've never gone there.
Like, I came out. I went into a basement. You know, I played like this cool art show party thing.
Is that Go Jimmy Go? You guys would do Europe a bunch.
Yeah, Go Jimmy Go, I believe, did 2 tours. I did the first one.
It's the best.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Was that your favorite tour ever?
Yes, it changed my life. Yeah, we're the supporting act for the Toasters.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, everything was taken care of. You know, like because we get there and
driver.
Yeah, because we lived on the same tour bus as the Toasters. So Bucket was a tour manager. He had a driver, and you know, he gave us like some euros every night, as a part of our thing. But otherwise, we just lived on the bus. It's so easy.
So
like
sick.
Out of all the years of touring, that's all I knew. Like, man, it's not gonna get much better than this.
No way.
Where you play a show, you go back into the tour bus, you go into the back, play some video games, whatever. You crash in your bunk. You wake up the next morning. You walk outside, you're in a new country, find out what kind of money they're using, you go to your sound check, do it all over again,
That sounds super fun to me.
Yeah.
I've never done a bus tour. I did like a real did you see what we did to the Go Jimmy Go van after?
No, I heard it got converted a bit.
Yeah. Do you see pictures or anything?
No, I didn't.
Anyway, it's basically like take a 15 passenger van, rip out the back, like everything but the first back seat.
Yeah.
So that would be like another 2 or 3 seats or whatever.
Yeah, 2 other benches.
And then, so it came with a trailer, right? You guys had this small trailer?
Yeah, the trailer.
So then basically just put like a bunk in the middle. Uh-huh. We ripped this whole thing off from the Left Alone van.
Oh, okay.
We saw their van and we're like, that's what's up.
Yeah.
Took it up to my dad and had my dad and my uncle just do it. They're both like carpenters forever. And like just put a deck right in the middle.
Yeah.
Bed on top, bed on bottom, curtains.
Yeah.
And then you take a couple of the ACs and route those down to the bottom.
Yeah.
Dude. So you're getting like 4 people sleeping super comfortably.
Yeah.
And then actually 5 because
Right.
1 right there and then 6 and 7 up in the front. So you got 7 people super comfortable.
Yeah. And they're fresh when they're
still
done.
no van.
Yeah.
No bus.
Right.
You're still not walking around
Sure.
but oh man, that was cool. But I've always wanted to do a bus tour.
Yeah.
That would be that would be the next closest thing to like an actual vacation, I feel like.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
How many bus tours you do?
Just that one.
Yeah.
And then on the 2013 leg of the Warped Tour, I just partied on a bunch of buses.
There you go.
So I was on the Flogging Molly bus, Real Big Fish bus.
Yeah, those two probably got great buses.
Yeah, because I think even Flogging Molly, they did some recording in their bus, and they would send tracks while they were, they were recording their next album.
Lots of strings.
Yeah. But yeah, Real Big Fish, they had like a sick like video game thing in the back.
That's what's man. That's so cool.
Yeah.
But the food on the Warped Tour too.
Yeah, and they catered the vegans and everything.
Yeah,
so that was cool.
I was vegan on Warped Tour. Oh man, because I was doing that same thing, right? Like that same like $5 a day.
Yeah.
My trick was like, for 2 days, save up my $5, buy peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah.
And then every day like refill a coffee cup from Starbucks for like a quarter, 50 cents.
Yeah.
And then just like kind of have a little extra money going around.
Yeah.
But man, when we hit Warped Tour, oh dude, that food was insane.
Yeah. Yeah.
I felt like a king.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I remember that in 2002, that was the summer that Good Charlotte just started a break, and they were on the tour. And everyone was like, who the fuck are these guys?
Yeah.
We'd see them like eating, and then like, it was just a matter of months after the whole tour. Then they blew up, like huge.
That was like, do you remember that band, Hot Hot Heat, when they came out here?
Yeah.
Did you play that show?
No, I was, that was part of my radio station though.
Yeah.
I was still with Star at the time. So
Yeah.
I remember,
They blew up right after that.
Yeah, them, Plain White Tees. Like, we did that Bandcamp gig.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you remember, what was that venue that is now a Japanese restaurant? Players. Up in Manoa. Right? Like diagonal from the college. Like,
yeah.
You remember?
Yeah.
So played there with, I think it might have been Black Square's second show.
Okay.
We played early, but still we played the show. And then, I don't remember who else. I think Bronson played.
Okay.
I think
Bronson,
I remember
shit.
Kai. I remember Kai playing for sure. But anyways, I remember like seeing the guys from Hot Hot Heat and like hearing their name. And I was
Okay,
like,
this is before that gig. I'm
Really?
talking about then. Yeah, because they came back and did the Waikiki Shell. So this was like way before that then.
Oh,
that
damn.
Your show that you're talking about.
because that show would have been 2002.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, it must have been earlier then. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Because I hadn't even heard of them then.
Uh-huh.
But then when they came out, like seriously, I felt like it was like 2 weeks later they were on MTV.
Oh, no kidding. Okay.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Because by the time they played the Shell, they had like a solid like 40, 50 pack of like hardcore fans. You could tell like they were like fan club, like crazy level of fans, and they knew all the words.
They were cool.
Like,
I like that band.
really nice guys. Were they Canadian? Are they Canadian? I don't know, but they were super nice. I remember we did like a meet and greet at Dave and Buster's the night before.
Nice.
I met them, and then the Plain White Tees guys. They're all super cool.
That Plain White Tees song gets stuck in my head all the time. It was
Hey
stuck
There,
in my head.
Delilah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was stuck in my. I was like walking around in the subways in Japan, and like, why is this song in my head? Like, did I even hear it recently? What's going on? But yeah, I was gonna ask you that, and you kind of mentioned it. Are you doing any radio stuff now, or
No? Although a lot of people still think I'm on the radio. It's funny. But yeah, no, haven't been on the radio for a while. I got laid off of 105.9. Same year that Pimpot broke up. It was a rough year for me. 2015.
Oof.
Yeah.
So nothing else like
Been podcasting since.
Have you?
Yeah.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
I didn't even know.
Yeah.
Shoot, what's yours?
The one I do now is called Opposite Tastes.
Yeah, what's it about?
Just pop culture, like TV, film, music. I do it with a good friend of mine, Jamie. We're coworkers.
Nice.
And so we're like, hey, on our lunch break, let's just go to our lunchroom and let's just record.
Sick.
And just talk for an hour.
Nice.
And then so we got picked up by the Buns podcast network in Canada.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
So your drummer has a podcast network too.
Yeah, Chris. He started. Yeah, he started getting into one. Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta stop doing this on my own. Get on some network.
Well, it's great
or
to be
something.
with a network, yeah, because well, for one, they cover all the costs, right, of publishing everything.
Wow.
So as far as storage and stuff, because I did one through Spreaker before on my own. So I mean, not that it's a lot of money, but it adds up after a while. So just getting that, not worrying about how long your show is going to be, that's good. So you do that, and then plus with your when you're with the network, you can increase that buying power, from sponsors and stuff.
Yeah. You got a sponsor?
Our network is working on like network sponsors, so
Sick.
they can sponsor all of us together.
You watch any cool or listen to any cool podcasts?
As far as my favorite, I listen to the Joe Rogan Experience.
Of course. Yeah.
I've been a long time listener of Mark Maron, the WTF, although that one is guest driven.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes he's just too whiny, like,
Yeah.
all these good
I haven't
things
heard
that
that
happened
one.
to me. I don't know what's going on.
Nice.
Yeah, but yeah, he has some amazing guests. So, I did listen to Adam Carolla back in the day, but that was when I was closer to my FM era. When I was still somewhat on the radio. And
So it was kind of more. It felt like more like of a radio.
it's
show
very
back then.
morning show esque. So
Yeah.
it's very not like a podcast. Although the production value is very high. They have a guy that just does sound effects and stuff.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. So it's so well made. It's like if you wanted to listen to AM morning drive like on your own time.
Yeah.
Like, that'd be
Well, like Radio Lab, right? Like that. The production value on Radio Lab is insane.
Radio Lab, yeah, but that's like NPR level of like production. Where
Yeah.
this guy, like like with Adam Carolla, though, when they need a fart sound, it'll be in there. Or,
Well, Adam Carolla, you think of that name and you're like, he's got to have money still.
yeah.
So
yeah.
and backer, like if somebody's like, oh, he's doing something, yeah, I'll throw some money towards that.
As far as like a network though, I'm a fan of Gimlet. I'll listen to almost all of their shows.
I've never heard of him.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I kind of just go down certain roads.
Yeah, and that's
and
what
like,
it.
I just, I'm like, oh, where am I? I was doing the NPR thing a lot.
Yeah.
Then I was like a huge Joe Rogan junkie for like a while.
Yeah.
And then I was like Your Mom's House and like Krista Leah's podcast. And then like,
he's hilarious.
yeah, that's Josh's favorite comedian. We
really?
got to see him in LA and it was just, he murdered. That was right before his last special.
Oh, okay.
So he was practicing all that stuff and it was really, he's hilarious. And then lately Theo Von, and like it's funny because whatever I'm super into, like my girlfriend's like, all right, you sound just like Joe Rogan. All right, you sound just like Theo Von right now. Blah blah blah. Whatever.
Yeah.
Like if I watch too much Curb Your Enthusiasm, like it's like
I'm the same way. I'll absorb. I'll absorb easily and get
but that's
influenced.
just, I mean, like whoever you're around, like I feel like when I listen to a podcast, and people have said this to me too, they're like, it feels like I'm hanging out with you, or I feel like I'm hanging out with them, or whatever.
Right.
So it's like you almost like, friends always end up saying stuff that sounds similar.
Yeah.
So it just feels like I'm like watching my friend, but it's always, I got to see Joe Rogan when I was in LA and I was like, oh man, I wonder if I met him, what would I say? And I'm like, no, I'm not even going to think about that. I'm just going to walk away. I'm not even going to think about trying to meet somebody. I don't know. I've always been like that. I've always been like, it'd be cool to meet that person, but
yeah.
I don't want to bother them.
Well, yeah, especially if that experience goes sour, you know, you don't want it affecting your
Totally.
thing, you know. Yeah.
So many people think that that's the best thing to do. I remember like people pushing me and being like, "Oh, there's a like I was snowboarding one time and I saw Daniel Tosh." And I was like, I thought it was hilarious because I had just been listening to a bunch of Daniel Tosh, and he's got these skiing jokes, like, oh, Breckenridge, la-di-da, whatever, whatever.
Right.
And I was like, that's super funny to see him on a mountain.
Right.
And like people from my family are like, go get a picture with him, go get a picture with him. And I'm like, that's the last thing I'm going to do.
Yeah.
I don't want to go up to, like, hey, you're completely just having fun. You're not performing.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, I felt that same way with Fishbone one night in DC. Yeah? They were playing at of course, a much larger venue than Pimpot was, you know, and then they ended up coming to our show because it was thrown by the DC ska scene, you know, so they wanted to come out and check out the scene and stuff. They ended up jumping on, and we did a huge jam session afterwards, and we're all drinking afterwards. And it was me and my guys, we're just hanging out, and then Norwood comes over and he's in the circle and just talking, and I kind of excused him out of the circle, like, hey Norwood, man, great hanging with you. Like, oh yeah, they were gonna leave, you know, because it's just like you know, just so much of what they've done is responsible for what I've done, you know what I mean?
Totally.
Like, it's I look up to them so much, and it was just freaking me out, like, and I don't want to sour on any Fishbone experience, you know what I mean? Like, I put them on such a high pedestal.
That's cool, man.
Yeah,
it's always fun to just kind of like, if you get that experience and be like, I just had that experience, and that was it, that was enough, you know what I mean? Like, exactly. I can tell a couple people, didn't need to snap a photo. Yeah I've just heard, again, from podcasting, I feel like people will just rant about whatever. Yeah. And that's a lot of times, that's a common theme that I've heard in people's podcasts. I'm like, well, obviously I'm never going to try and go talk to anybody, because it's just like, nobody's ever pumped about it. It doesn't seem. Nobody's ever like, oh, cool, another fan came up to me and just wanted to snap a photo real quick. Right. Awesome. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, man, I don't want to keep you here too long.
No, it's all good.
Thanks for coming over, dude.
No, it was great, man, and very effortless. And I love what you're doing.
Thanks, man.
And I mean, it's always good to highlight, you know, the culture and arts.
It's fun. It's just it's fun for me to just like hang out with people that I don't hang out with on a regular basis.
It's a great excuse to hang out, that's for sure. And thanks for letting me drink all your whiskey.
Oh, appreciate it. By any means.
Let me know whenever you're having a dry month. I will come over and drink some of this
help me get rid of some of this stuff. Tell people where they can find your stuff.
Well, I still have the domain FernandoTheLoveMachine.com.
Nice. Yeah, I didn't know if you were still doing that. Yeah. I was going to introduce you as that, but then I was like, oh, I don't know.
No, yeah, I mean, I've tried to kill the name, you know what I mean? And then...
You just can't.
Yeah, people still... I mean, it's funny, at shows now, like, that No Villains Left plays, you know, they're like, hey, can I get a picture with you? You know, I'm like, oh, yeah, cool. Like, man, my mom's going to be so stoked. You know, I'm at that level. And it's fine. It's totally cool.
Hilarious.
Yeah. But, no, it's totally cool. You know, I'm grateful for all the work that I've done, whether it be in radio and all my bands and everything. It's all learned experiences that build up to where I am now, you know, and where I am gonna go. You know,
it's all fun. As long as you're having fun. That's all that matters.
So you know, with a hella cheesy name, you know, but yeah, FernandoTheLoveMachine.com. It's better than FernandoPacheco.com. It's probably
it's a little more
Latin
catchy,
entertainer,
I guess, or whatever.
Yeah, it could be Latin American revolutionary politician or something that might own it. But yeah, so FernandoTheLoveMachine.com is where you can go. And then from there, I got links to all my stuff, whether you want to support No Villains Left, my collage art that I do and stuff too. So yeah, but otherwise just Fernando, if you're
right on, man,
just search for me.
And No Villains on Instagram at just No Villains
No
Left.
Villains Left. Yeah. We're gonna unveil a new logo soon that I'm stoked about.
Hell yeah!
Because have you seen our original logo that we have now?
The black and white one.
Yeah, that mask.
Mm-hmm.
So we're all stoked on it, right? Because we ordered it through Fiverr. Have you ever tried Fiverr? It's a service where you can hire a graphic artist to design a logo for you. So we're like, yeah, I've got this logo, it's super cheap, super awesome. We loved it, and then one of our fans messaged us, and it was a screenshot from was it Kick-Ass or something? And then The Mask was from that fucking movie, and we're like, so now you're like, if we were to escalate to a higher level, right?
Those fucks.
You're right. You know, we'd
Fiverr.
get called out on our copyright shit. So we're like, okay, well,
There should be like clause.
I know, right?
Right, like if we can't get no cease and desist. Somebody else made this. Like sue that person.
Yeah, exactly. And throw that guy off of Fiverr,
dude.
But it's all good. We came up with a new logo, and we're super stoked on it.
Hell yeah!
We're gonna be unveiling it through the summer, and I think we got some big shows that we can't talk about yet, but we're stoked. Yeah,
right.
New
on,
album,
man.
of course, coming out soon by the end of the summer. So,
right on, buddy.
You.
Well,
high five.
Thank you very much.
Cheers. High five. High five. Cheers.